What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Wednesday night or Thursday morning. My Thursday morningers, it's when I start to get excited, man. One more day before the weekend is here. Wednesday nighters, one more sleep till Thursday. All right. All right, you guys, I have a great show set up for you guys today. We have two stories in Behind the Feed and Off the Record. Jayz is back in court, and Sean Diddy Combs' son, Christian Combs, posts to his IG stories and uses the hashtag Diddy Free. Not Free Diddy, but Diddy Free. Also, Diddy's friend and godbrother, Charlucci, says that he was almost unalived in jail. I'll break it down and let you know everything that is going on. In lead stories, Candace Owens says she will defy the judge's gag order in the Charlie Kirk case. And New York City erupts as ICE hits Canal Street. In quick news, we're going to talk Team Diddy, not Diddy, but Team Diddy. Nicki Minaj, Jayz, Meagan Thee Stallion, the Louvre, Kim Kardashian, Northwest, OnlyFans, Iman Shumpert, Dreka Gates, I always mess up her name, Dreka Gates, Kevin Gates, and Pastor Marvin. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, and question of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. It's almost the weekend, y'all. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, our first Behind the Feed and Off the Record story. Jayz back in court. Yes, we told you that he is being sued by his CEOs, the CEO of Rock Nation, Des Perez's daughter. That was last week. This week, he's back in court for a new case. Jayz accused of retaliation in court. Woman claims rapper is using the legal system to punish her for filing federal lawsuit. I've been telling y'all for the past couple of weeks, it is not looking good for Sean Carter, the Jigga Man. And this all ties back into him and Beyonce, the divorce, the potential divorce. And this is one of the cases that is really allegedly driving Beyonce and family crazy. Okay, so I'll give you a little background of it. Leanie Conley, the woman who recently filed a federal lawsuit against Sean Diddy, Sean Jayz Carter, has asked a California judge for emergency protection, accusing the billionaire mogul of using the court system in retaliation against her. In a new legal document obtained by reporters, the woman, Conley, submitted the application for a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. She's asking the court to block Jayz from pursuing what she calls a retaliatory sanction hearing scheduled for November the 7th, 2025 in New Jersey, right around the corner. Lily claims that the New Jersey motion is meant to punish her for filing a federal case against the music mogul. She says the move amounts to fictitious litigation and argues that without immediate release, she suffers imparable harm, citing the financial and emotional toll of the dispute, a two-front legal dispute against a billionaire celebrity. In the filing, she says the person who is representing her is accusing Jayz of using his influence and resources to silence her. The documents reference serious allegations, including claims that the rapper allegedly impregnated her friend decades ago, then used systematic judicial manipulation to avoid accountability. Y'all know where this is going? Yes, Jay-Z's illegitimate son. This is Ramir's godmother, okay? So Ramir's godmother motion insists that the public interest demands intervention, arguing that wealth and celebrity status cannot be used to corrupt judicial process or deny justice to the vulnerable party. She describes her case as a fight, not just for herself, but for others who have been overwhelmed by prejudicial prejudicial battles designated to silent victims. Okay, this case has been assigned to a judge in Los Angeles federal court with a decision on the emergency request expected before November the 7th. Okay, so gonna kind of make sense of this because that was like a lot of legal jargon. Okay, so who is Ramir's godmother? I'm gonna refer to her as that because nobody knows her name. So y'all know Ramir, Jay-Z's illegitimate son, who has been trying to take him to court for years now. This is her case against Jay-Z. Okay, so Ramir's godmother is more precisely known in reports as Dr. Lillian M. Connie. She is identified in the legal filing as the godmother and legal guardian of Ramir, the man asserting that Jay-Z is his biological father. Her involvement, she has been actively representing and supporting Ramir's claims regarding paternity, and she has joined in legal efforts aligning obstruction and misconduct in courts. In a statement, Ramir's godmother clarified, there has never been a discovery hearing or final ruling that resolves the paternity or other issues. So from her perspective, the case has not been adjudicated or has ever come to a conclusion. Okay. Now, legal action with Jay-Z. Technically, the legal dispute is preliminary with Jay-Z and involves multiple filings by Ramir. Here's the breakdown. Ramir claims that Jay-Z is his biological father, born from a relationship between his mother, Wanda, I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name, and Jay-Z in the early 1990s when Wanda was 16. This is the whole point why Jay-Z doesn't want to take the paternity test. If anything ever happens and they found out, it's a problem, okay? The filing asserted that Jay-Z has not legally acknowledged nor legally denied the relationship. The filing accuses Jay-Z of using the legal system or manipulating the justice system, court proceedings, sealed records, etc., to obstruct Ramirez and his godmother attempting to establish paternity and pursue the claims. Their claim they have suffered emotional distress, reputational harm, financial burden, and loss of opportunity because the matter remains unsolved. Now, let me read two more things that I'm going to break down for you. Jay-Z's response. In court filings obtained by the media, Jay-Z's legal team describes the latest lawsuit as just the latest in what he calls a decade-long harassment by Ramir and his godmother. They assert, and by the way, his godmother was best friends with Ramir's mom. Obviously, that's why she made her godmother. They assert that the underlying claim has already been addressed and rejected in multiple courts. That's what Jay-Z's team is saying. They argue the case was not properly served and ask for more time to respond. One of the complications, because the alleged concept involved Ramir's mother, who was 16, and occurred decades ago, and because Ramir is now an adult, the legal window of asserting paternity in that jurisdiction, Pennsylvania, may have closed. For example, one court dismissed the case because the plaintiff was already 18 when the petition was filed. The filing alleges that Jay-Z misrepresented the assessment. Okay, last thing. I think, or maybe I read that. Oh yeah, the filing says that Jay-Z, okay, I read that. Now, the current status is Ramir and his godmother, most recent lawsuit was filed May 2025. Okay, so this was after Tony Busby and the Jane Doe. This was after. So this is why he's back in court. This is, if you're keeping count, that's 3 lawsuits with Jay-Z now. However, media reports indicates that Ramir dropped the case in July 2025 after a suspicious docket activity and attempting to merge the cases. Now, the godmother has publicly stated that the matter is not fully resolved and there has never been a discovery or a final ruling. She's noting that Since nothing has yet produced a public court judgment establishing paternity, the dispute remains in kind of a limbo. So basically what all this is saying is Jay-Z is using the legal system to silence somebody that's actually trying to go at him in the legal system. Now, Jay-Z did the same thing to Jane Doe. Tony Busby, Jane Doe filed a lawsuit against him. He filed a countersuit against them. Now, what Ramirez's godmother is doing is saying, hey, he's using his influence and his celebrity, which is not really true. He's just really using his money and his lawyers to indirectly kind of put leverage on her, or put pressure on her is a better word, for her to stop these proceedings against him. Now, I'm going to say the same thing I said with the Jane Doe case. I understand from a legal perspective why Jay-Z is doing this, or why his legal team is doing this, for the simple fact that it is retaliatory, yes, but that is what you do. You countersue. You say you want to do something, go, hey, I'm going to countersue with this. You say you're going to do this to me, okay, I'm going to do that to you. And it's a way to show that you're not afraid, and it's a way to show that, not only will you lose your case against me, but then you'll lose my case against you, and I could now sue you for legal fees, etc. Here's why I personally think it's a bad move for Jay-Z, is for reasons like this. Jay-Z now has popped back up in some content creators, some online stories, and I'm in here talking to you guys about it behind the scenes and off the record, saying whenever Jay-Z pops up, and whenever it's court, and whenever it's a reminder of his issues, it's not good for his brand deals. It's not good for his marriage. It's not good for anything. So you have to do the math. If I could sit down here and say that it's not good for these three reasons, which is important to Jay-Z, you must be able to put two and two together and know that the alternative has got to be much worse for him. Why else would he want this to go into the media and for us to be talking about it? Why else? Because if he doesn't do this, and Ramirez and his, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, sorry, but I just realized that. Ramir and his godmother, if he lets them keep on getting away, and one day he actually has to give, he has to do a paternity test, if it's ever revealed that he really is his father and he really was with his mother at that age, imagine the ramifications that will have on his marriage. For sure, Beyonce's gone, because there's no more Beyonce brand. She will have no choice but to leave him. Imagine if that comes out. You've had a son who's in his 30s. You were with his mom at that age. Can you imagine if that comes out? Jay-Z will be over. So you have to know that he's sitting down in his, in his very, very tight-knit circle with his publicist and with his lawyer, saying, all right, like, we can countersue, we could be aggressive with Jane Doe, we could be aggressive with Tony Busby, and it's going to take some hits. But imagine the alternative. So that's the theory behind everything. And, I'm not saying that Jay-Z is the father. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Tony Busby was right with his lawsuit, but if Jay-Z was not his father, then why not take a paternity test? I've told you guys repeatedly here that many people in the industry have come out and said that they have to go through this almost yearly. You don't hear about it in the news, but a lot of athletes, a lot of musicians repeatedly are like, all right, I got to take another paternity test. All right, I got to give my DNA for this. I got to give my DNA for that. It's quiet, but they got to do it to unfortunately get out of some bad situations. And it's been years. Jay-Z's not just like, all right, here, go do it. And his, the talk is like, oh, if he does it for one, he's got to do it for all. It just doesn't work that way. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on this. Y'all sound off below and let me know what you think. All right, our second behind the feed story. Diddy almost unalived in jail. All right, truth be told, I literally prepared today's show and I was purposely trying not to mention Diddy's name, and then 3 stories came out. So I'm going to just put them all together quickly and just bring you up to date on what's going on. And we're going to move on because I'm sure some of you must be having some Diddy fatigue, because I know I am. Like, I need a day break off of Diddy. But let me just tell you this story. So Sean Diddy Combs reportedly survived an unaliving attack while behind bars, according to his longtime friend, Charlucci. Okay, so Charlucci, who is Diddy's godbrother, says that Diddy woke up with something to his throat inside of his cell at the Metropolitan Detention Center. Charlucci said, "I don't know whether he fought him off or the guards came in," adding that he wasn't sure exactly when the incident happened, only that he knows that it did happen. Charlucci believes the attack was meant as a warning rather than an actual attempt. First of all, shout out to Charlucci. One thing I will say about Charlucci is there was not a day in court that Charlucci was not there. Like, he was there every single day without fail, super supportive, always being friendly, always talking, whatever. Like, good dude. Some of you guys might not like him. If you're not remembering who Charlucci was, you have seen him on the blogs at some point. He's always the guy wearing the Free Diddy shirt, okay, from since the beginning. I've been on a couple of lives with him or whatever. So, good dude, okay? So, shout out to Charlucci. Now, this story, you see how he says, "I'm not sure when this happened, but I know it happened." In one of my lives, I think it was at sentencing, or maybe it was during Motion 29, one of the two, either 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago at one of the hearings. Diddy's defense team told the court this already. And he said that there was a time that, Diddy was threatened and it's not safe where he is. And they use this as one of the reasons why he should be given bail, or at least get let out, or at least no longer sentence, or sorry, not a 4-year sentence, and he should only get 4 months. So why is this coming out today? Because everybody and their mama has been talking about pardons, commutations, or whatever. And everybody could draw their own conclusions, but it's still on the board. It's still up to Donald Trump to make his final decision, okay? Even the White House said that, even though they, quote unquote, denied TMZ, which is basically indirectly telling TMZ, hey, don't put out this story before us. But they just want to put it out as a denial. Why is this coming out now? It's the same reason why there's these other 2 stories that are coming out. Let me tell you them, and I'll draw them all together to make sense. Last night, this came out on the blogs and said, "Sentenced same day, what's the difference?" And then you have Diddy, and it says one is serving 5 years for prostitution of consenting adults. The other one, who's not, anybody who's not looking at this picture right now, this is an older white man. And the other one received 6 months for doing something that was far greater, okay? Had to do with KID, okay? KIDS. So, and let me just tell you the last thing. And then also, Christian Combs, Diddy's son, posted this in his stories, a picture of him and his dad at the MTV Awards, and he posted "victory" in the song, as the song playing in the background, and he used the hashtag Diddy Free. Not Free Diddy, but Diddy Free. So this is Team Diddy continuing the momentum, continuing the conversation, because their pitch to Donald Trump and his administration is, like I told you guys, we need a pardon. We need this off. We're going to push this narrative out to the public that A, he's in danger in there, which I don't know how well that's going to go over, because most of the people don't necessarily care about that because of what they saw Diddy do to Cassie. So they're going to be like, okay, he's in danger. He's put people in danger. But it is still technically, hey, there's a man, etc. You know, he's not going to be given a fair chance in there. Some people might feel sympathy towards him. Or it can also be a play that if he is going to stay, put him in somewhere that he has a little bit more protection. Y'all know he wants to go to Fort, I can't say the word, but Fort Dix, which sounds like the other man member, where he wants to go, and it's more luxury. Okay, so there's that. And then we're also going to push out the narrative of the this other white man who got 6 months. So this is just Team Diddy kind of just keeping the conversation going while they're in negotiations with Trump, okay? So like I said, this alleged incident that happened, Charlucci the story is coming out, but it's a story we already heard, and he's like, I don't know when this happened. It could have happened 6 months ago. So nothing really to it. We are still on Diddy pardon, Diddy commutation watch. We'll see what happens. I told you guys a couple of days ago, his birthday is coming up. I've heard something around there, or maybe Thanksgiving, or maybe Christmas, or maybe even this weekend. All right. Obviously, the White House is not happy what TMZ did and what some other content creators did. So, you know, they're not happy that we got ahead of the story. Maybe Diddy's got to have to sit down a little bit longer. Hey, I'm just doing my job. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to our first lead story. Political commentator Candace Owens reacts to court's gag order in the Charlie Kirk unaliving case. This is wild to me. Political commentator Candace Owens has vowed to defy the court's gag order in the Charlie Kirk unaliving case, declaring on X that she plans to violate on the world's behalf. Owen claims that she has uncovered explosive information over the past week. She's been talking from a couple of weeks ago, so she has discovered some explosive information this past week, saying it's enough to burn the house down. She ended her post with a striking statement saying, yes, Charlie was betrayed by everyone. This is Candace's exact tweet. She said, don't worry about the gag order in the Charlie Kirk case. I plan to violate it on the world's behalf. The things I've discovered this past week are enough to burn the house down. Yes, Charlie was betrayed by everyone. Now, for some of you who might not know about the gag order, listen to this.
As if the Charlie Kirk saga couldn't get any more bizarre, Judge Tony Graff, who's just been on the bench for 56 days, imposed one of the strictest gag orders I've ever heard of, citing concerns about pre-trial publicity and fairness. Now, the media, gag order. Lawyers, gag order. Law enforcement, gag order. The 3,000 people that were there, gag order. Candace Owens, gag order. She wasn't even there. Turning Point USA, gag order. I don't know what, everybody, gag order.
The media gag order? What? So what, like, I'm violating the gag order by talking about it? I'm part of the media. What is going on? I have told you guys that I probably will be heading down to Utah to cover this trial. I'm not too sure if I'm going to go down October the 30th, I think it is, because I want to make sure what's going on. Are we going to be allowed in the courtroom? I'm not going there and standing outside and like trying to, talk to people as they come out. Like the Diddy case, I need to be inside the courtroom. So I have put out some feelers out there. I'm trying to figure some things out, some logistics, but more importantly, what's going on, man? Like, why is everything so sealed with this? This is the most suspicious case ever. Well, this and the David and Celeste thing. Like, what is going on? And Diddy's lawyer, Diddy's judge, Judge Supermanian, put a gag order, but he put a gag order on the lawyers. This judge is putting a gag order on the world? Like, what's going on? Anyways, there's something going on here. I know a lot of you are not big Candace Owens fans, but you have to applaud. I said this a couple of times this week. You got to applaud her for doing what she's doing. This is not about money. I even thought it was about money in the beginning. I told you yesterday how much money she's losing, the appearance money that she's losing, etc. Yes, I'm sure she's making money on YouTube. Yes, I'm sure she's still making money with clicks, but her overall reputation is taking a hit. And if she actually has a part in uncovering the truths that the FBI and the powers that be are trying to hide from us, then you have to give her credit for that. The same way how I give credit to certain politicians that you don't like when they do good things, which he hasn't been doing anything good for the past couple of months. So as always, I will stay up to date with this. I'll keep you guys up to date. And this is the latest update where full gag order. Nobody can talk. Like, I might get a letter, be like, yo, what are you talking about on YouTube saying Charlie Kirk's information? Like, I don't know how far this stretches, but you're hearing that media. So I don't know. Y'all sound off and let me know what is going on and why you guys think the FBI, every form of legal, everything is totally, we don't know nothing. We heard Charlie Kirk every second for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. He had his memorial, and now you don't hear nothing. Not even Trump. Nobody talks about him. It's like the biggest secret in the world. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our second lead story. NYC erupts in protest and backlash over Canal Street ICE raids. All right, I will play beside me this raid or the protest that's happening in New York City. And look, we have, I don't know, we posted like 6, 7 videos in a carousel on our IG, the Trent Out Loud show. You guys can check it out there if you'd like. I don't know what to say anymore about this. I mean, you're going to send a National Guard to Canal Street? What? Like, what? When I started selling clothes out the trunk of my car, before I started my stores, that's where I got my start. I would drive down to Canal Street, buy mixtapes, do-rags, long tees, bring them back to Canada to sell. Like, Canal Street has been there for years. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what is going on? Like, Trump is on another level. And I told you guys just wholeheartedly, it really hurts me that I cannot sit here and give fair, unbiased outlook on political topics. I used to love doing that. I loved it. When we're talking about DEI and Target, you know, a lot of people tuned into my show for the unbiased both sides of like, okay, I understand this and I understand this, and how about we come together and do that or whatever. And, you know, I still love talking about politics, and I still love talking about, you know, what is good for the people, and try to give objective ways of looking at things. But it's not even enjoyable anymore when it's just things like this that are just utterly ridiculous, that are utterly deflective, that are utterly just plain old doing this to create chaos, to deflect from whatever it is that you're actually really doing, so that this is what we talk about. The press is no longer even in the Pentagon. What's going on in the Pentagon? We don't know, because the press can't be in there anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gone cray. And I told you guys yesterday about the Arizona senator that's not sworn in because they will have the vote for the Epstein files. They're going so hard to avoid this that people are saying that that's the reason why for the government shutdown. So you're going to have people lose all the things that they're going to lose. I saw on some videos today where workers that worked at the government making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year are now in lines at like soup kitchens and trying to get like free groceries because they haven't been paid. And Donald Trump is doing construction on the East Wing in the White House to have a $250 million ballroom, and sending out National Guard to Canal Street to get some fake Louis Vuitton purses. Crazy. Y'all sound off and let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, actually, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, our first quick story. Nicki Minaj destroys Jay-Z in new AI-generated video. All right, I'm going to play the video beside me. Woo! This is the kind of stuff I like, yo. This is up on our Instagram as well, too, the Trend Out Loud show. Please go check it out. Nicki posted this with the Whitney Houston song, I'm every woman, it's all in me. Yo, okay, I did a horrible job, sorry. You have to hear this with the music behind it. It makes it even funnier. Nothing really to this. This is Nicki Minaj just continuing to troll Jay-Z, Rock Nation. Y'all know, daily listeners, we've been talking about that. We don't have to get into that again. This is just her continuing to troll Jay-Z, and I think it's hilarious. Something to note, though, with our last story we just talked about with Trump and this story, this is Nicki Minaj, a hip-hop artist, trolling another artist, and the president of the United States uses the same tactics and posts AI videos of himself in a fighter jet with a crown dropping number twos on American people. I know this quick story has nothing to do with Trump, but it just made me think, like, two rappers are beefing and they're doing the same thing that the president of the United States is doing. How crazy is that? Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this Jay-Z video in the comment section. Our second quick story. Okay. Oh my gosh. Meagan Thee Stallion, who I love, by the way, posted this yesterday. For those who are not seeing this picture, it's her very long red nails, which I love red nails. I mean, maybe it's a little too pointy, but whatever. And she has a lollipop in the shape of a heart, and it says 10/24. She's dropping new music on the 24th, which I think is probably Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. And under the caption, she put, "Lover girl with a kiss," and it says Friday. So new music dropping Friday. What have I been telling you guys every time I talk about Meagan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson? Just like what I showed you guys yesterday, where Krishan Rock was like, yo, I'm only with Bino for PR and press. They paid me for this. Same thing with Megan and Klay. You're never going to get me to believe that Meagan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson are in a real relationship. I'm just not going to do it. I have been to music school, music management school, and I aced my marketing class. And one of the things that my professor of that class always told me was like, yo, anytime you see a relationship with two celebrities, know that that was put together on a PR stunt. And sometimes they actually even like each other. Like, truth be told, I don't know if y'all know this, but Kanye and Kim, one day maybe they'll tell the story. Kanye and Kim were actually put together for Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They wanted to elevate Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I think she was with Humphrey. Was she with Humphrey before or after? I can't remember what it was, but they were like, yo, Kanye's going to be good. Kanye's like, oh yeah, this will help me cross over into that market. And then boom. I still don't even think they actually really loved each other. I think the kids and everything was for more marketing, more push. I think the Kardashians have kids and have relationships to make more money. And a lot of you might be out there being like, oh, that's crazy. I would never do that, never do that. But then, it's like there's questions where people ask you those crazy questions like, would you do this for $10 million? Would you do that for $50 million? Would you marry somebody and have kids for $1 billion? Because every single one of those people are billionaires. So, would you kiss this or would you do this for 10 million? Would you do that for, what would you do for $1 billion? So I bring this back. Sorry, I went off topic, but I bring this back to Klay and Megan. Megan's in court right now. Megan's reputation after Tory Lanez was totally just so much hate from the hip hop community. And they're trying to remarket her and rebrand her, put her with a basketball player, put her with Klay Thompson. He's nice. He's clean. The girls are going to love a nice love story. And I've been calling that out for the past couple of months. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And now all of a sudden, music. What I always tell you guys, anytime celebrity is on the blogs and they're doing something and then they come up and they're selling something that correlates with that, It was the setup, right? It's a business plan, like how anybody will have a business plan. They knew that this was coming, and this is the genre or the lane that they're going to push Meagan Thee Stallion into. They're going to be, you saw her at courtside with Clay's mom. Yo, if y'all know Meagan Thee Stallion, she's never been with a guy like Clay. And don't tell me this is like, oh, a rebound and I'm trying like the nice guy. Please, I don't believe it for a second. Nope. Nobody's going to convince me different. Anyways, I hope the song is good. And I hope this new Lover Girl, I bet, oh my gosh, Clay's going to be in a video. This is going to be so corny. Oh my gosh. We'll see. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, our third quick story. Yesterday, I showed you guys the jewelry that was stolen from the Louvre. Today, I have a little video. Now, some people are saying this is AI, but I did some checking around, and people have confirmed that this was actually a recording from the Louvre. So I will 99.9% stand behind this. Take a look. I still can't really figure out what they're doing with the bag, and they're very close, and there's this thing over it. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's the only video that they have out and nothing else. I've been scouring the internet, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Still think it's crazy, like we talked about yesterday. Not condoning anything along the lines like this at all. Of course, it's wrong, but still pretty cool that one of the most guarded places in the world, and arguably one of the most guarded museums in the world, was broken into and had a breach. The Mona Lisa is there. That's crazy, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our fourth quick story. Kim Kardashian faces backlash for letting North rock face tattoos and a septum piercing. She's only 12. Okay, I'm going to put some pictures here. What do I say about this? First of all, they're not real tattoos and it's not a real piercing. So she can wash them off and take them off at any time. Here's why I think she's getting more backlash. Last week on Call Her Daddy, hold on, let me just check. Do I have a write-up for this? What is there to say, really? Okay, let's just skip the write-up. Hold on, I want to get it for you in case there's something I'm missing here. Let me do my due diligence. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Here it is. Okay, here. Kim Kardashian and Kanye's 12-year-old daughter, Northwest, is embracing her bold fashion side. In a series of new TikToks, North rocked a set of temporary face tattoos, including a star under her eyes and her name written in cursive on her cheek. She paired the look with striking blue braids, matching blue eye contacts, a black grill, and a faux septum piercing. Just months ago, Kim caught some heat online for letting North wear a corset, mini dress, and platform boots during their trip to Rome. Speaking on Call Her Daddy podcast, Kim admitted parenting a trend-setting preteen can be tricky. Kim said, "It's really hard because all the kids are wearing the same thing, but my daughter tries to wear it, and I'm like, okay, we're never going to do that again. Unfortunately, we made that mistake in front of the entire world." So that's what I was about to say, that Kim was on Call Her Daddy, and she's like, yeah, that corset, that was a mistake. And I remember when that came out, I dragged Kim for that, and I was like, this is crazy. And I read to you guys what the meaning behind a corset is off of ChatGPT. And for those of you who want to know, Google it or do ChatGPT. And I'm like, definitely not. She should not be wearing a corset. And Kim is enough of a fashion person to know. Like, I'm a guy, I didn't really know. I found it weird. But then when I found out the meaning behind a corset, I was like, this is horrible. So Kim saying, well, her friends are doing it, so I let her do it. That's horrible parenting. That is crazy. Like, well, her friends are doing it, so I feel I'll let her do it. What? A. B. Her friends' parents are not Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. So again, like she's saying, you got to know that your kid is going to be photographed and it's going to be out to the whole world. Because she just said that on a podcast, that's why I'm going to drag her for this. Not necessarily that, North shouldn't be able to put, I've seen kids put the, those water tattoos, they put them on their face and whatever, etc. But I just think that to the level that she's going, especially after what she just said and called herself out on Call Her Daddy, it's showing to me that she's losing a little bit of control over North, because she's telling us in the interview, we're never going to do that again. And then next week later, we see this, which I don't know, it's up to you guys, but is this worse or is a Cressette worse? I don't know. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents. But she did ask for grace, saying she's by herself, raising 4 kids, and she's a single mom, and Kanye West hasn't seen the kids in a couple of months. So I will give her grace. I do know North loves to jump on TikTok. So maybe she did all this and jumped on TikTok before Kim can even get to it. But they got to figure something out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Our 5th quick story. OnlyFans CEO says people don't want AI-generated content on their platform. I found this shocking. OnlyFans CEO says AI ain't replacing humans. At Bloomberg Tech London, OnlyFans CEO Kelly Blair made it clear artificial intelligence might be powerful, but it can't replace real human connection. Blair said the platform has no holy AI accounts. What does that mean? Holy AI accounts or tools, doubling down on OnlyFans' mission to keep content authentic, creative-driven, and human. She explains that people don't want AI-generated content. They want the emotion, energy, and interaction that comes from real creators. That realness has paid off big time. Since 2016, OnlyFans has paid $25 billion to creators and now makes a record-breaking $37.6 million in revenue per employee. Jeez. At a time when AI is taking over industries, OnlyFans is betting on one thing robots can't duplicate: connection. The reason why I thought this was pretty shocking is that I know that there is a world of guys that like cartoons that do this kind of things. I have always found it super weird, but I know there's a market out there, and I know there's a market out there for dolls. So I would think AI would be something that OnlyFans would do. So I find this a little bit weird. I did tell you about a story, I think it was a couple of days ago, or maybe a week or so ago, that starting in December, ChatGPT, you're going to be able to say adult things to it and have those adult conversations, SEX conversations with ChatGPT, and it won't block you. Right now, there's controls that it will block you. You're going to be able to say those things to it. So I'm a little skeptical of this. I'm not saying she's lying, but something is weird there because there is a market for it. That's just my 2 cents. Y'all weigh in and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Our 6th quick story. A content creator threatened to rob Iman Shumpert for not giving him an interview. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know why that went on my computer like that. Okay. It's going to be very hard for me to play you this audio because the guy is swearing. I'm going to try to play a little bit of you for you so you can get the context, but just so ridiculous. Like, he doesn't want to give you an interview. Why you got to act like that? And now he put out this long apology, which I am not going to read. It's literally like 3 paragraphs. But anyways, here's the video. Take a look.
I said it. Iman Shumpert. I said it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Get the out the city.
You a female.
Yeah. You gonna get robbed.
So like I said, he has a long apology. At least he apologized. He said, I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit that I was wrong. And I'm not posting this to shame Iman. I'm posting it because during blah, 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 blah. Like I said, I don't want to give this guy too much credit, but people out there, if you see celebrities, athletes, entertainers, or whatever, they don't owe you anything. Like, nobody owes you nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I love Tiger Woods, okay? I'm a big fan. And I have been around celebrities and entertainers since like I was young, okay? Like, I was starting in the music industry super young. So it really doesn't faze me. But there's some people who you really kind of like fan out with. And Tiger Woods was big. Like, for me, back in the day when I started playing golf. And I remember one time he was at the YMCA and my dad was like, yo, Tiger Woods is here. I literally drove, like, I was like 10 minutes away. and I caught him as he was leaving, and nobody was outside. I brought the cover of my golf bag. I was like, yo, Tiger, can you sign my thing? I never ask celebrities for pictures, signing, like anything. I never do that, but it's like, this is Tiger Woods. I think I would do that for like Tiger Woods and probably Barack Obama. That would be the only two. Maybe Oprah, maybe. I'd fan out a little bit for Oprah. Those are my three. Anyways, and he ignored me. He just walked by me. No reason. It's not like, yo, 20 people are out there, and if I stop, and he was literally just working out. And I didn't feel like he owed me anything. I'm a little bothered by it. I'm like, I don't understand why you would just ignore me, but you cannot expect to bash or say anything wrong or, you know, threaten somebody because they don't want to stop and give you an interview or acknowledge you. Just going viral out there, and I just want to give my 2 cents on it. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below. Our seventh quick story. Dreka Gates is seeking $70,000 in monthly support, claims Kevin has stopped paying for the kids. Dreka Gates, Kevin Gates' estranged wife, is reportedly claiming that he cut off she is claiming that he cut off financial support for her and their children. In legal documents obtained by TMZ, Dreka says Kevin stopped paying property tax and private school tuition in late 2021, but allegedly flaunted his wealth by buying 18 luxury cars and a $4.7 million Calabasas estate. She also says their Mississippi farm is now in foreclosure after the IRS issued a $7 million tax levy. Dreka is asking the court for $27,193 a month in child support and $46,274 a month in spousal support, and to be named the children's primary physical caregiver, claiming the kids have been with her 95% of the time since 2023. The couple got married in 2015. Dreka filed for divorce in July on grounds of irreconcilable differences. Okay, talking about celebs. I was with Dreka April of this year at an event. Let me tell you something about Dreka. She is the real deal. Sometimes you see celebs online or whatever, blah, blah, and then you see them and they're like, they ain't all that. Or you're like, wow, they're surprisingly short, or surprisingly like their skin or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yo, she looks better in person. 1. 2, if you know about Dreka and Kevin Gates' relationship, like Kevin is crazy, like love him to death, but crazy. And she is that down girl, like ride or DIE, you know, like that, like she is down for whatever, like my man. Like she's a writer. And I know a little bit of the reason of why they got their divorce. And I mean, we've talked about it here with Brittany Rayner, when, you know, the whole thing that he was married and, you know, married to a couple of different girls, but as a Muslim, he can't, etc., whatever. But Dreka it's already known in the industry that they are very poly-esque. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, I won't get into the real reason why they're divorced, but what I would say is that I don't understand why Kevin is letting her go. Even though I know some of the reason, I think he's gonna regret that. I think he'll look back on this in 5 or 10 years when like he gets older and be like, yeah, I made a mistake, man, because she's a good girl, man. Anyways, yeah, some people, you know, online are like, she's asking for like $70,000 a month, this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But they have kids. She has to upkeep things or whatever. And she had a lot to do with Kevin Gates's come up and where he is today. Let's just leave it at that. But anyways, shout out to Kevin and also shout out to Dreka. All right, our 8th quick story. Pastor Marvin and Roberta are trying to clean up their now viral video that received so much backlash. Oh my gosh, can we please put this story to rest? But I've been talking about it the third day, and I couldn't just leave you guys hanging because now they went to ABC News. So for those of you who don't watch daily, I never heard of this story. A pastor was getting donations. Roberta, who now we know her name is Roberta, came and he was asking for 1,000 plus 1,000. She gave 1,000 plus 200. He called her out. I dragged him. Everybody dragged him. Yesterday, Fred Hammond, a gospel singer, put out the full video, and it was like the video was, hey, he was asking for 1,000 plus 1,000 at this time, and then if you have 1,000 plus less, then come at another time. And we all were like, even now with the full video, it still doesn't make any sense because why would you call her out? Even if she was in the wrong line, she's here to donate. Now they're going on ABC News, and she was like, he hasn't done anything wrong. He's the pastor. He's this. I got it wrong. I'll play a clip for you guys. But now even hearing the full clip and even hearing it from her, it's still bad. He should not have called her out knowing that the cameras were on. So let's just put it to rest. But I want to give them a chance to get their voices out there. So here it is. Quickly take a listen.
You're the woman in that viral video.
Right.
He did not rebuke you.
He absolutely did not rebuke me. Now, there's a difference. There was a correction because let me clearly state that Pastor gave instruction on the lines to get into.
I was calling because the whole church was giving, and it was our day of giving, and the whole church was coming, and we didn't want people standing, the mothers and all that, so I was calling them by increments.
So yes, Pastor Marvin, we get it. You wanted to have one line with people that had 1,000 plus 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever, and then they would go in one line. Then if you had 1,000 plus 1,000, you went into another line, and then if you had 1,000 plus 100 or 200, you go into another line. She went into the wrong line, and you were like, hey, you guys are not listening to me. Not that, hey, you're not listening to me. I told you to raise 2,000. We understand. It's clear now. And yes, when the first video came out, it sounded like you were complaining about the money. Now we get you're only complaining about the line. Some people might say, oh, okay, that makes sense. I particularly still feel like, why are you calling her out? Being like, y'all ain't listening to me. I told you which line to be in. Like, that is what you should be trying to clear up. What is the reasons for the line, sir? Why couldn't everybody just come together? And or if there is a reason for each line, does she still have to be so reprimanded even though there is a reason, which doesn't make sense why there would be a valid good reason for the line. But even if she is in the 1,000 plus 3,000 line and she only came with 1,002, can it just be like, Roberta, you're supposed to be in the other line. This is supposed to be the 1,000 plus 3,000. But regardless, Roberta, thank you so much for your donation. We love you, and the church thanks you. Everybody, just as a reminder, not a big deal, but if you could please try to get in your right lines, we love you. That's how you talk to your churchgoers. That's how you talk to people who are literally giving you thousands of dollars. Not like, y'all ain't listening to me. So no matter how you try to clean it up, you were wrong because of the tone and the way you spoke to her, even if she was in the wrong line. Can we stop talking about this now? Because it's ridiculous. All right, our ninth quick story. Another thing that I think is ridiculous. I didn't even want to talk about this, but it's going so viral that y'all know I hate to miss viral things. But Gilbert Arenas reveals that most NBA players cheat on their girls. Whoa! Newsflash! You don't say. What are we doing here, people? Like, I don't get it. Okay, there is no write-up. Is there a write-up? Oh Lord. Like, what do you write up to this? Hold on. Sorry. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'll play the video for you in a second. Yeah, there is nothing. Gilbert Arenas talks about how him and other NBA players live it up and says that even though he's now settled, he's far from happy. I think that people get on podcasts or stream and just don't have anything to say, and then are like, I'm just going to say something that will make me go viral. Because what are you telling us, sir? What groundbreaking revelation are you telling us? Sorry, I'm just adding something here. Yeah, what groundbreaking revelation are you telling us? And for the life of me, I can't figure out. Like, is he mad at somebody in the NBA? Is he trying to expose somebody? Like, this is crazy. You know, we all know from the stories of LeBron James, like the biggest family man of all family men. We heard the stories of academics talking about him coming up to Toronto and this being his favorite place, and he has tons of girls. Like, we have heard this story a million times. Like, athletes, entertainers, whatever, they have tons of girls in every different city. Anyways, listen to the video.
When the NBA season starts, that's where all the bad habits are. So when the season starts, now I'm flying to Miami. Now I'm flying to Atlanta. Coming in 2, 3 in the morning. Where am I going? Club. We are partying and drinking damn near every city we go.
What?
Different girls every city we go. So we're partying during the season on our work schedule. In the summer, we ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
Because our girlfriends and our families. I lie to my wife every day. That's my job, to lie. Her job is to try to catch the lie.
So you've been through the whole phase, and now you're settled down.
No, see, you said settle down like I'm happy.
Like I said, I don't pick the viral content. I just talk about it, and I don't have any take on this. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. All right, so this brings us to our favorite segments, comments and social discussion of the day. Okay, I'm very, very excited to get to comments. Hold on, let me find them. I'm very excited to get to comments, but before I do that, y'all know I have a very important question to ask you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? What's your answer? Actually, hold on. Let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are, all of them, if you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trend-out-loud to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has been exposed. Now, I joke around sometimes when I do this, but very, very serious. I told you guys yesterday, there has been a big media blitz. It was on the Breakfast Club and I think on Fox News, where scamming is at an all-time high. Text messages, emails, links. And I keep telling you guys, one of the big things right now is that they're stealing people's homes. They're getting your information, which I'm going to tell you how they do it. Then they go and they change the deed on your house and they sell your house before you even know it. It's crazy. You've got to have protection out here. You cannot shop online, surf online, and do anything without having a digital security package, okay? If you ever wonder how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here's why. There's companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. Data brokers, they take your information after you buy something and literally sell it without your consent. So if you think, oh, I'm safe, I don't do anything on bad websites, every website that collects information sells it to data brokers. It's crazy. Anyways, that is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and all the out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of these sites after you shop on these sites, and they keep it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door but keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, anything. You get real-time fraud alerts if your credit card or banking information is ever found. You also get a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have 24/7 US-based customer service. And they also have a $5 million identity theft insurance package. In the event anything does go wrong, you are fully covered. They're the best in the business. Link below, QR code beside me. Just take out your phone's camera. It's free for 14 days, totally free. If you doubt me that any of your information is out there, just click the link or use a QR code. Sign up. It's free. I could promise you almost 99% that some of your information is out there. If you've ever shopped or done anything or entered information on a site, your information is out there. And Aura will show you what they could do for free for 14 days. and take all that information off so that you do not get scammed. Everybody that has always signed up, every outlier has always let me know how much they love it. Even when I was at Charlemagne's Mental Wealth and I was signing my books, one guy came up and he was like, yo, thank you so much for Aura. They saved me X amount of dollars. So sign up for Aura today, okay? Let's get to comments. I have 2 comments today. Now, this first person, I don't know. I think it's SLGRIE88. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm very sorry, but I think it's probably an abbreviation. But you gave me a super thank you. Thank you. So your name is up there. I'm not even going to try to say anything wrong, but I think it's SL. It was not going to pronounce. Thank you for your $5 super thanks. And the next one, I love this one. Well, I love both of them, but thanks. Proud Out Louder. My name is pronounced Mary Ellen. So I hope I'm pronouncing that right. yeah. Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen from, and she even wrote out Charleston because she knows I'm dyslexic, but I knew how to pronounce Charleston. Charleston, a small town in the big city of Boston, Massachusetts. So, Mary Ellen, thank you so much for your $15 super thanks. Really appreciate that. You see here that I liked the comment, hearted it, and commented back, and of course, reading out. So I'm going to read out all of your super thanks comments, which leads me to tell you how the rest of you can sign up, or not sign up, but how you can use the thanks button. Now, you will see underneath every single one of our videos, there will be a thanks button. You'll see share, you'll see remix, you'll see like. Some of you might have to slide over and you'll see a thanks button. You can click that thanks button, and that is a way that you can support the show. You can give $1, $2, $15, whatever the amount that you want to give. So it helps support the show because a lot of people have been asking me, hey, do you have a PayPal link, or do you have this, or a Cash App? There's a thanks button right there. You could sponsor and donate whatever you would like to the show. And the best part about it, what I love, is that it puts your comment right all the way to the top and it highlights it so we do not miss it. So make sure to use the thanks button if you're liking the show, if you're enjoying the show, if you're liking the content and you want to find a way to give back to the show and show your thank you. And by the way, you don't only have to leave the thank you in there. It could be thanks, but it could also be a comment, something that you want me to read out. You know, whether it be something good or bad, you can use the thanks button however you want and write whatever you want, and I will read all the thanks comments, okay? Here is YouTube explaining you better than I can.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
All right. And also just want to remind you to sign up for our Out Loud memberships. Become an Out Louder today. With the Out Loud memberships, it's the first link below. You get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live streams, member-only videos, early access to new videos, and member shout-outs. So make sure you sign up. And when you get to your memberships, there are, I think, 4 different or 5 different levels: Out Loud Proud, MVP, Family. They give you all the same access. It's just like a tip menu, 10%, 15%, or 20%. Feel free to use any of the amounts. They all give you the exact same access, okay? And we do behind-the-scene videos only for our Out Loud members, right? I think I'm going to do one tomorrow ahead of episode 600 that's coming out Friday afternoon. Okay. All right, so we did all of that. We did comments. Let's go to social discussion. This one is really interesting. Keyshia Ka'oir, who is Gucci Mane's wife, is facing backlash after being accused of charging $525 for mental health consultation without a license. Now, somebody tweeted this and says, why am I hearing that Keyshia Ka'oir is charging people $525 to consult on mental health issues? She is not licensed or qualified to speak on mental health. This is dangerous and irresponsible. Mental health support requires real credentials. Report her. And here is a picture where I think this is on her booking session, where it says, nothing is off limits. You and your family members struggling with bipolar disorder, mental health issues, relationships, mindset, body goals, confidence. If you need clarity, Keyshia is listening and keeping it real for you. Book a session. And it's $525 US an hour. Okay. I'm going to handle this with care. Y'all know I'm a huge mental health advocate. I have done talks. I have traveled up and down. And Keyshia just came off of her interview with Gucci with the Breakfast Club. That's why this is coming up. Now, social discussion, is me kind of working through things and asking you guys for help. And I'm really on the fence about this one. So, is she a qualified professional? No. I'm not a qualified professional. I've gone through lots of therapy. I have been diagnosed, which I'm going to talk to you guys more about in episode 600. But I talk about mental health. I don't charge for it, but I talk to people about it. I have been paid to do talks, not necessarily one-on-one, but on stages. I've done talks, been flown out. Am I not qualified to speak on my experience? Just to also note, I also do a lot of free work in the mental health space as well. So my question is, the fact that she is married to somebody that has schizophrenia, bipolar, and has a ton of experience in it, is it wrong for her to charge an hourly session for that? Therapists, life coaches, there's a lot of people that charge for things like this. And life coaches, they don't have degrees or quote unquote requirements. So I personally think this is just a little bit of hate and a little bit of backlash, maybe coming out of a camp, maybe Nicki Minaj camp, because she's beefing with Gucci and his wife right now. But I wanted to bring it to you. And do you guys think that it's wrong? And I think from her interview that she definitely has experience. And I don't know this, but if she is charging an hourly rate and she's also mixing it in with giving it back to the community, like, for example, how I just gave 200 copies of my book out for free to give back to the community. Each of my books are 20 or 25 bucks. So just do the math times 200. I go to schools and give out my books for free. So I think if she is mixing them in and not just saying, well, I will not help or I won't do anything unless you pay me, maybe I would understand the backlash. But if she has a good balance of charging for it, like how a lot of people in the mental health space do, but then she's also willing to give back, I think it's okay. But willing to be open and let you guys know, and for you guys to let me know what you think in a comment section below. All right, today's question of the day is a really good one. Well, I'll just tell it to you. A woman flexes her ring to her friends after ignoring their advice not to cook, do laundry, or pay for dates. So for the past couple of days, I've been saying, hey, all I could find is questions about relationships. And then a couple of you, Gia in particular, was like, hey, we love when you talk about relationships and love. So I figured I would put a love one back in question of the day. So it's not really much of a question, but more your opinion. So this is what the comment section said. If she likes it, we love it. Another person said she's celebrating being picked for the labor she did. That's not the same thing as celebrating being happily married. I'll get back to that in a second. It's crazy wanting to take care of your man, especially if he takes care of you. It's crazy that is being considered a pick-me. Y'all are sad. Congratulations to them. Another person said, the thing about life, no path guarantees desired results. She got what she wanted. I'm happy for her. The best feeling as a husband, and even after the early dating stages, was cooking for my wife and the smile she had. It was funny. You cooked for me, you must love me. I don't know when you love somebody deeply, you do anything to see them happy. Okay, I don't really understand that one. That's why you got to do what works for you. Another person says, I love to flex. Stop listening to these bitter folks on social media. Do what your heart and mind desire and do it for your person. Another person says, if she got a ring and is happy, good for her. Never brag too hard. Men will embarrass you. Another person said, wouldn't the flex be doing none of these things and getting a ring? Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. She did what she felt was right and found a man who appreciated it. Do the same for yourself. Congratulations. Last one. This is sad, man. Nothing about love or commitment or how they make each other feel. Just, I performed tasks for him and now I'm his property. Like, y'all could keep this. Anyways, all right, let me read this last one. I've seen women who do all for a man get married and then divorce. I've seen a woman who didn't like she did get married and divorce. Just find who loves you and your match with your soulmate. You match with your soulmate, and everyone's story will be different. Okay, no need to have read that last one.
They told me not to make his lunch. Oh, okay. They told me not to fold his laundry. Yeah. They told me not to pay for dates. Okay. Take me through there. Take me through there.
I think people are taking this out of context. And I say this every time when there's a clip on social media, and that's the problem I have with social media. We see 16 seconds, this is how long this video is, and people are like, oh, she's a pick-me girl, or somebody saying the opposite way. I think what she is saying, and maybe some of you might say this is naive, or some of you might just saying this is not the case, but how I interpret it is she is a person who liked doing laundry, paying for dates. What was the three things? Just want to make sure. I just lost it. Yeah, here. Woman flexes her ring as a cooking, doing laundry, and paying for dates. So I think she likes cooking, doing laundry, and paying for dates. And her friends were probably, because most people that cook or do laundry or pay for dates or whatever, that's not a girl who hates doing that and is doing that to get a guy. That's somebody who just innately, like, I'm a caring person. I'm a person who's a giver. Some people are like that. And that's just her nature, okay? And I think her friends were probably like, yo, don't do that, because a man that you do that for before you get married to him, he's just going to take advantage of you. He's just going to end up walking all over you. He's just going to end up using you. Don't do those things. What? You're paying for dates. You're paying for this. You're doing this. You're doing laundry. You're cooking. Nah, man. It's that age-old thing of like, don't let him. Should you taste the milk before you drink the cow or something like that? Anyways, let me get back on my point. So I think that she was that type of girl. Her friends have seen her hurt and was like, hey, but I think she probably was like, look, I'm going to be the person who I am going to be. And I'm going to find somebody who I feel is deserving of that. She trusted this guy. Hopefully she went out on a couple of dates and was like, okay, hopefully she just doesn't give this willy-nilly. And she went on a couple of dates and was like, no, I'm going to do this and not keep this. And I feel like he's going to do the right thing. And I feel like that's what she was celebrating. I feel like she was celebrating the win of like, I may have done this to the wrong guy before, but I'm not going to let men change me. And I'm continuing to be me. Yes, maybe some guys may have taken advantage. Maybe some guys have walked over me, but I end up finding the one, and now I have my ring and I'm married, and y'all are sitting at home and y'all are still bitter. Again, we don't know. And your theory or this person's comment theory, this other people's who I just read, maybe their theories might be right, but that's how I see it. That's just my 2 cents. And I think more importantly, because we don't know what's going on, I think more importantly, I think that you should just be who you are and in a relationship. And you might get hurt. You might end up with the wrong person. But I think if you are true to who you are and you follow your instincts and you follow your intuition, you'll more times than not end up with the right person. I think the problem is girls that are like that are givers, and then end up in the wrong situation and know they're in the wrong situation, but continue and hope that the man is going to change. You see, that's the difference, is that you got to, if you're a giver, you got to know when to stop giving and being like, nope, you are not getting this anymore because you are not giving me this. You're not giving me time. You're not giving me love, or you're not giving me my ring. And that's when it should stop. So that's just my 2 cents. Y'all let me know on this question of the day in the comment section below. All right, y'all, that is a wrap for me. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I thought we had a pretty good show. Like I said, I tried to get by without mentioning Diddy's name, but yeah, we're on Diddy watch right now, okay? Before I let you go, just want to remind you of a couple of things. The first link below, do not forget to sign up to the Out Loud membership to become an Out Louder. It's fun over here. We have a lot of member-only videos and activities. It's fun. Sign up. Also, please, if you are interested, use the thanks button. It is a way to support and give back to the show. You know, we're working really hard for you. So please don't hesitate if you would like to. And also, it highlights your comment, and we will definitely read it out and we'll comment back to you. And like I said, it doesn't just have to be thanks. It's the thanks button, but it could be like, hey, your opinion about Diddy, I don't like this, or whatever, or a conversation. Feel free to use the thank you button or thanks button, however you would like. Also, just want to remind you once again, the second link below, Aura, or the QR code beside me. If you do anything online, just trust me, please sign up. It's free for 14 days. It is a game changer. It's getting very, very, very dangerous out here. Just Google recent scams and you'll see that everybody is suggesting for you to have a digital security tool. And if you ask me, Aura is the best and you should use it. And it's free for 14 days. Okay. Before I let you go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with this show. If you like listening to your shows, we're available on all podcast platforms. Just go to any pod site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And we upload daily, 7 days a week. If you are like me and you like to watch your shows and you need video, I need that interaction. Head on over to YouTube, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. 6 things I'm going to need you to do. I know it's a lot, but come on, we give you a lot here, okay? So give back to me. Hit the subscribe button and the like button, get the algorithming. Please try to comment. You guys are my co-hosts. I do the show with you. We bring the topics. You guys talk back to me whether you agree or disagree, okay? Now, for those of you who don't want to join in on conversation, I totally understand, no pressure. But what you can do is let me know which country or city that you're watching from, because this is a global show and I love to see where you guys are listening from. Fourth, if you're really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved one. Hey, I found this new show. Take a listen. It helps in growing the channel, and we're here to grow this channel. Fifth, sign up for the Out Loud membership. And 6, do not forget, underneath every single video, there is a thanks button. Your comment could be highlighted, and you have an opportunity to give a little bit and support the show that you love so much, okay? For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's also the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And finally, talking about Instagram, please follow us on the Trend Out Loud Show on Instagram. We post most of our stories up there. We post the videos in their entirety with all the swear words, everything, no edits. YouTube does not allow us to do a lot of things on here, so we post everything there. You get more context, and then when you watch the show, whenever you decide to watch it, you're more looped in and you'll have more context to comment about, okay? I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day, and thank you for tuning in. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace!